I'm making this next little video for myself as much as anything. I just wanted to just go on record as saying I had a phenomenal experience happen to me in this past year, and really it's been the focus of my entire year. In February of 2014, February 7th, I was contacted by this man who wanted to sign the 500. He saw my John of God video, and he recognized the light in my eyes, and he was drawn to it, and he says, I've got to contact this lady. And he sent me some emails, and then we arranged to meet up, and I was going to have him sign the book. And when I met him, the most amazing thing in the world happened. He walked right up to me and looked at me, and he said to me, I just wanted you to know that in a past life you were my mother in Italy. And I went, okay. And then he said, and not only that, but he said, your goodness, you are the real deal. He said, you are goodness incarnate. And he said, don't ever, ever be on someone else's show or be inferior to anyone. He said, because you're the one that should have your own show. You're the one that people aspire to be because of your light and your heart. And he says, and you need to hear that. Well, that's pretty complimentary for an opening line, right? You know, and I do meet a lot of people. So I'm sitting there going, okay, you're great. So I said, you're going to sit down and join us. And then the most amazing thing in the world happened. I was lost for words. I couldn't talk. I sat across from this man, and I had brought the book, the 500 book, and put it between us. And this energy moved in, and I literally couldn't speak. And I'm sitting there having eye contact with this man, and I'm going, oh my God, I have all these amazing emotions, all these feelings coming in. And then I had this attraction come in, and then I'm going, okay, this isn't the feelings that a mother has for a son from a past life, you know, or any lifetime. What's going on? And I started to feel this amazing love vibration begin to escalate and build in me, and I'm going, what's going on? Like, what's going on that I can't speak? And all I could do was feel this love energy from this man. And the next thing I know, he was turning to speak to my friend, and then a holographic image, a three-dimensional image of Jesus came forward out of his face, and I recognized the person as Jesus, and he looked at me and he said, I'm in here. And I went, okay. And then the image went back in him, and he turned, and he was talking to this person beside me, and I'm saying to myself, I was like, okay, I just saw that, right? Like, I just saw that. And then I turned to him, I said, thanks for showing the Christ in you. Thanks for showing him to me. And he goes, no problem. And I'm sitting there, and then I couldn't even talk anymore because I'm going, it was too weird what I just saw. So anyway, it took me a while after meeting this fellow to realize, you know, anybody who's ever met me or approached me about being one of the 500, no one's ever had Christ come through them. No one's ever had Christ energy come right out in a person. It was like another being coming forward saying, I'm in here. So that stuck with me. So I've been exploring that individual and learning about him, and spending a lot of time doing research because one of the gifts I have been given is knowing who people were at the time of Christ. And I just want it to go on record that all I can tell you about this man is that when I ask who he was at the time of Christ, I hear from God that this is the man and this is the soul that God came through at the time of Christ to speak through. This man is God's son. So I believe what I'm told, and I have been working with this man for the past year to help heal his soul, because I am being told that he is God's son. But he's not coming on the scene like he's the Christ we all think and have been told that Jesus is. He is just as hurt and as broken and as confused as everyone else is on this earth plane, in this physical. And it's his journey, as it is our journey, to come into this world, to die to the self. And once we die to the self, we must rescue the self and come to know the self by knowing God. And this is a process that happens through going back and discovering at what point in our lives that our journey had taken us to a death of the self, which is really inner child work, championed and forefronted by John Bradshaw and many others, but John Bradshaw, to me, is one of the foremost leaders in this. And once you understand that we're born here like anyone else to die, and then our journey now is to go back, resurrect the self from the child, and then in doing that and coming to know who we are, coming to know ourselves, that is when God comes in. And we simultaneously are able to know the self, and when we pursue the self, then we start to know God. So our journey is to know God by knowing the self. The reason I'm making this video is I just want people to know that I don't have all the answers, but I am working with the being, the presence, the soul that I believe is Christ. And he is needing our prayers. He is needing our prayers to heal. He is needing our love and our energy to bring him back into the light of God. Because like every one of us, he is not remembering who he is. So I would just ask people, I don't know if I'm asking something impossible or not, but just hold the image of Christ and just pray to God that God will send him love, send him energy, and send him healing so that he can be all that he is and all that we need him to be. Because we're not here to be rescued. We're here to own our power. We're here to learn that we have the same energy inside of us that Christ carries. And it's our gift from God as his children that we've been given this. And it's ours to own, it's ours to claim, and it's ours to pursue. So if there's any hope in this story, understand God has never forgotten us, that he is on it, that he will always be there for us, and that he has a plan for us. And if this finding the 500 and knowing who the people were at the time of Christ and finding them and discovering they're all back here at the same time at this moment, then that is a miracle. And it's going to make sense the next little bit of time that we are here together, because more and more and more miracles are happening, and I will be reporting on them as they happen. So thank you.